Yes, hello sports fans, hello YouTube, Flip567 here. So check this out. So, after the NBA Finals, like I said, if you watch the game in general, it's like you're thinking about the gap between the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors, which looks like a very huge gap, and it's just crazy. And think now what Cleveland needs to do. And to be honest, man, I don't know if I want to see a part 4 of next year's finals of the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors part 4. That's kind of crazy. But besides any of that, if you are a Cleveland Cavs fan, it makes you wonder what LeBron James got to do. And he thinks now, if you think about it, with Jimmy Butler being traded from from Chicago to the Minnesota, so obviously Jimmy Butler cannot go to Cleveland, and Cleveland's trying to figure out if they can get Paul George, and Paul George supposedly, like they said, a 1-year rental, and supposedly it looks like Kevin Love is not worth the value that he probably once was a year or 2 years ago. Makes you wonder, and you think about salary cap, and like I said, man, the guys that Cleveland signed on the salary cap, J.R. Smith, your Trish Thompson, those guys were overpaid, and it makes you wonder, like, not saying they were not good players and did not help your team win, because I know, putting that on somebody's stuff, people are like, oh, J.R. hits smart. Yes, it's just that what you're asking J.R. Smith to do makes you wonder, is he worth the money that you're paying him for what he does so far? And besides that, it's crazy to know that. But besides that, with free agency coming up on July 1st, so it's going to be crazy to know who's going to be free agent. And like they said, man, a rumor has it that Iguodala supposedly might leave Golden State. Now, that sounds crazy. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but think about it. If the Golden State Warriors were to lose Iguodala, for next season, that actually might give Cleveland a chance to beat him next year. Might actually give Cleveland a chance to actually win round 4. That's kind of crazy to know that they're going to win, might give them a chance in round 4. Hopefully, like they said, Kevin Durant is going to take a pay cut. I don't know what kind of pay cut Kevin Durant is going to take, but you think about it, to get paid less money is just crazy, especially too after winning his first title. That's probably a lot to ask, a superstar player to take less money. Not saying it's not possible, just saying that, to ask a star athlete, can you please take less money? But like they said, it's going to be really crazy. Like they said, the Golden State Warriors might win the next 4 or 5 years, give or take, or unless, bar from injuries, hopefully there's no injuries. If not, then, Cleveland has a chance. Then again, like I said, LeBron's 32 now, so he has his window is probably 2 more 3 years. Most likely, if he stays in Cleveland anyway, he should be getting to the finals the next 2-3 years, unless, LeBron James is his own worst enemy and gets injured, then he probably will not get back to the finals. And like I said, rumor has it, thanks to, the general manager not being re-signed, that he might stay his last 1 more year in Cleveland and opt out. Or actually, I'm sorry, not opt out, but he'll probably just walk out of there, walk out of Cleveland. And it's just crazy to know that people say he should probably go to the Lakers. I'm thinking in my head, man, LeBron James is talking about, his idea is he's chasing the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan. So it's just crazy to know that, if he does go to L.A., knowing that there's San Antonio and Golden State, unless he goes to either San Antonio or Golden State, he might not play in another NBA Finals. So that's kind of crazy to know that he might not play another NBA Finals. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea for him to go to the Western Conference. I mean, I'll be honest, in the beginning, that would have sounded like a good idea. But the way Golden State's playing, I'm not sure LeBron James, if he was to come west, unless he plays like San Antonio or something, him and Chris Paul at San Antonio, or maybe him and Chris Paul in San Antonio might actually have a chance to beat Golden State. Because I was thinking to myself, man, if LeBron James did go to L.A. Lakers with Paul George, man, I don't think that's enough to beat Golden State, because like I said, for him to get to the finals, he has to go through Golden State. And if he wants to win the title, obviously if he beats Golden State and plays whoever in the East, he probably wins the title. But the point is, you have to go through Kevin Durant. And the way Kevin Durant played this past, NBA Finals, I don't know, man. LeBron probably ain't going to guard him. Like, it's crazy to know. Like they said, they think LeBron has 5-6 more peak years. He probably should play that, but think about it. At 40 minutes a game is kind of crazy. He need to cut his minutes down to like 30. Maybe 32 minutes a game, if anything. But besides that, I was just thinking to myself, and the idea what Cleveland could probably do to probably compete with Golden State next season, since there is, the offseason free agency. Now it seems like, for one, if they really can't trade Kevin Love, which is kind of crazy, maybe you do have to part away with Kyrie Irving. Oh, that sounds like a very bad idea, Kyrie Irving, trading away Kyrie Irving. But like I said, you got to be able to compete. And like I said, if LeBron is still chasing the championship, and if he is still trying to chase the greatest of all time, you would like to think that that's the idea. That, he's Cleveland and himself and LeBron's going to have to figure it out. Like what's weird, though, it drives me nuts about LeBron James. Think about 14 years in the NBA, and he still did not want to attack the basket. Not just attack the basket, but You gotta shoot free throws, man. LeBron, come on, man. You need to improve your free throw shooting. You know, one of your flaws of your game is not being able to hit free throws. And think about it, man. It's nice that he can shoot from the three-point line, but besides that, he doesn't really have, you know, very ranges of jump shots. So basically, he needs to draw fouls, get to the line, you know, get to the line 15, 20 times, hit some free throws. That would help, you know, if he muscled in, you know. But besides any of that, back to maybe what might help is, I was thinking to myself, maybe if they could get Lance, Serge Ibaka. You know, it's funny. I was listening to Coward. Coward said, you know, there's a lot of guys that want to play with LeBron James. I'm thinking, is he sure about that? Because last time I checked correctly, Joe Johnson didn't want to go to Cleveland. So think about it. If Joe Johnson don't want to go to Cleveland, that's kind of crazy to know that Joe Johnson, that's another guy. I don't know if he wants to win a title or not. But besides that, it's crazy to know. But I was thinking if they could sign, you know, like I said, mid-range exception, not mid-range assumption, but, you know, the NBA minimum wage for 1 year, see if they can, you know, get Serge Ibaka. If they could get Serge Ibaka, then maybe they could move Kevin Love. But then if they can't move that, it'll be easy to know. And it's like they said, though, Carmelo Anthony. Well, like I said, man, if you could trade for Carmelo, that might help. And like what Stephen A. Smith said, man, like it's funny because, you know, you listen to, you know, First Take and you see Stephen A. Smith, you know, Carmelo Anthony and Max Kellerman arguing like, you know, he's an ISO scorer. But like what he said, though, when Golden State went on that run to take the lead and finally put away Cleveland in Game 5, the point was it a 24-2 run or something like that, a 24-4 run. The point was it makes you wonder, like, LeBron James, this is where LeBron James should have scored some baskets, force up shot, take some free throws, do something. Stop the bleeding, which they didn't stop the bleeding. But besides that, like, comment, subscribe, YouTube, we out of here. Aloha.